So the drag detector is an instance that allows you to drag objects that you parent it to. And its general use cases are, well, they are used for opening doors and drawers, sliding a part around, and much more. And they have all of these different properties, but yeah. And to slide an object around, you just add a drag detector instance to it. I can parent it to this model or this base part. And well, that's everything, but I'm gonna go over the different properties and different stuff that it has. And later on, I'm gonna show more use cases, but yeah. So one of the most important things is the drag style. Rotate axis allows it to just rotate the object. Same with the trackball. Scriptable means you can define custom logic for dragging the object. Translate line means that it's gonna move only on one axis, on one line. Line or plane means it's gonna move on a plane or a line. Plane being a flat surface. And the view plane, which I'm gonna demonstrate, think of the screen as the view plane that it has. It allows you to grab an object and move it around like so. And it's based on the starting position of the screen frame. So if I move away from it, it's just gonna stay there and it's not gonna follow you around. But yeah, like I said, just think of the view plane as a screen frame that it's relevant to, but yeah, moving on. The response style affects how an object is going to move. Physics is based on the physics engine, and geometric means that it's going to be updated to the motion, and you can use geometric on anchored objects. But physical is not going to be updated if the object is anchored because it's not being rendered by the physics engine. And run locally is a client replication thing. That means if you move an object on your screen, it's not going to be replicated on the server. Image also allows you to change the image of the icon. These are the mode switching keybinds. And in the physical response at the apply center of mass, this one means that the central point of mass is going to be at the center of the object instead of the place where you actually put your mouse to in the 3D space on the object. And this also affects how the whole object moves. And the max force and torque are just limits to how fast an object can move or rotate. And the responsiveness is how fast it gets to the point of motion, to the desired position. So if I limit it, you can see that the object moves way slower now, although I move my mouse really fast. And with these limits, if I try to move it like really fast out, it's basically not going to happen, as you can see. But if I give it more max force, then I can just do this. And there it goes. So yeah, now I'm going to show the test words for the drag detector. It's this test word 1 and the test word 2, and I'm gonna leave links to everything in the description. But yeah, so this is the test word 1, which is used for the demonstration, and you can see there is a lot of stuff right here. So let's begin. And of course I'm not gonna go over everything, so you can just experiment with it for your own. So this is what I meant for the line mode. It's only on one axis, and yeah, this is slide freely. This is the slide with limits, so you can only slide out a certain amount of distance, and you can connect a bunch of different stuff to this, like so. This is the pull release to fire, and it's pretty fun to just mess around with this stuff. So yeah, I guess Roblox bowling is gonna be a stuff now. And you can also rotate stuff around a certain point, like this. Spin the wheel, I haven't even seen this one before. Yeah, this one is really cool. I got a no. Well, lose my luck. But yeah, I'm gonna go to the second place now. And this one also shows a use of different methods, or events rather, since you can also use it as buttons instead of a click detector. It has the drag start, the drag end, and the drag continue, and they are well self-explanatory. The drag continue fires whenever you keep on dragging the object, and the start and end are just, yeah, as I say. So you can just also click on stuff to activate it, and you can implement a lot of different logic to them. Oh, and also in this place you want to click on the towers to teleport to them. So this one showed the different events, but I wanted to also, yeah, go to the anchored ones. So this one is running on an anchored object, which is the geometrical one, right? Same with this one, which is non-anchored, but also uses the geometric constraints. And to comparison, this is the physics constraints. Bro, what have they done to this guy? Anyway, so yeah, they also allow you to create stuff based on the mouse position in the 3D space. As you can see, you can also just create blocks, but they can also be used to create doors. And I'm gonna make a tutorial on them in the future, but yeah, so you can just move them around like so. And overall, like I said, it's a lot of cool stuff that you can do with the drag detectors, and yeah. I haven't figured out a way how you can do a Half-Life, you know, prop pickup, or the source engine I mean, since you'd have to implement custom logic to it, and I haven't really sat down on the drag detectors yet, and yeah. I might do a tutorial on that in the future too, but that's gonna make it, so if you found this tutorial informative, then please leave a like and subscribe because it would really support the channel, and yeah. I hope you had a nice day, and see ya guys!